Mixer added ads to their platform. This is from The Verge, from Bijan Steven. It says, Mixer, Microsoft's answer to Twitch, has just rolled out its first ads, but it appears the only entity earning money from the ads will be Mixer itself. Some of the ads will show up on channels run by Microsoft itself, but other partnered channels like Ninjas will now see ads appear in front of their content that don't support them financially. Mixer announced the move last Friday on its Level Up Cast, a weekly show about what's happening on the platform. Ads were always part of the plan, said Mixer community manager Andy Salisbury and guest host Ethan Rothamel. People who have Mixer's premium monthly subscription offering Pro won't see the ads, they said, and neither will people who have subscribed to a partnered channel. For now, only Mixer is making ad revenue, at least according to Rothamel. Although he did take pains to say that ads are ultimately meant to support creators too. It seems that the company is still figuring out how to integrate earned ad revenue with its partnered accounts. Quote, I get it. Ads are not the most fun thing in the world to deal with, but it's super important to remember what we're doing on the site. The site is free. You're watching content for free and you're supporting partners, end quote. When reached for comment, a Microsoft spokesperson provided a statement, quote, we are always testing and exploring new features and monetization options for Mixer creators, but have nothing more to share at this time, end quote. Microsoft wouldn't confirm whether its creators will receive any revenue from the ads it runs on their channels. Now, I do want to point out, and let me see, I don't think it's mentioned. Yeah, it's not mentioned here. I want to point out a couple things about ads, just in general, and then more specifically to Mixer. I'm not saying that I'm like intimately familiar with the details here on Mixer's monetization model. In general, though, payment for impressions on ads is hella low, and the amount that you're making off of those ads is based on, obviously, number one, the volume at which your audiences serve those ads, but it's also based on the quality and the curation of those ads. So ads on, let's say, YouTube are worth a lot less than an ad where, let's say, The Verge goes out and brokers a deal with, who are they running ads for on this site right now? Oops, I have my ad blocker on. Let's see, who's running them on IGN right now? Does IGN have any ads going? Okay, if Gizmodo was to go out and say, we're going to broker a deal with Best Buy, and Best Buy is going to pay us X amount of money to display our ad because we can guarantee them this much traffic, these many eyes on their ad, that's going to generate a lot more revenue for that establishment and that outlet than just say I go out and I put together a 30-second ad video and I'm like, I'll bid X amount per 1,000 impressions or whatever. Like, and the reason for that is it's much less curated. There's a lot less guaranteed traffic on that. So I imagine, I don't know what Microsoft is using to fuel their ads. They probably have their own ad platform that people can pay for. It's probably not super competitive, which means it's probably not super expensive to get your ads on there right at the moment, which means there's probably not a lot of ad revenue being generated to begin with. And that doesn't excuse the fact that Microsoft isn't giving any of this money over to the creators. But what I do want to point out is that Microsoft does have something, and I want to make sure that this still exists. They used to have something called simulated ad revenue, where essentially, hold on. I don't know if this is what it's called. But they used to have a program that was basically like simulated ad revenue, where they would say, like, look, we're not running ads right now, but we want to pay you. It was hypothetical ad revenue, and this was partners pay. So if you were a partner for Mixer and you accrued X amount of views, they would pay you as if you were running ads on that site, if you were running ads on your stream. So what I imagine they're probably doing is allowing that hypothetical ad revenue to bridge the gap between them figuring out the bells and whistles that they need to, in the kinks that they need to work out in order to pass that ad revenue along. And then they'll probably sunset the hypothetical ad revenue because they'll have actual ad revenue. I'd like to see something more. I don't want to say that definitively, but if you are a Mixer partner, or you know a Mixer partner, or you are, familiar with Mixer's platform and know if that hypothetical ad revenue is still something, I'd be really, really interested, because I think that takes the sting off of it a little less. Like, hey, we've had in place for quite some time this simulation where we're paying people as if we are running ads on their channel. It's just we don't have the ads yet. And if they're going to continue to use that system to bridge that gap. So I don't want to throw Mixer totally under the bus right now. And to be fully transparent, I think Mixer is a really great platform. We'd be streaming over there if they had a few more features. But it also it incentivizes people to subscribe again. Like, it's not just, hey, subscribe so you can support the channel. It's subscribe because, hey, are you sick of seeing these ads rolling in the middle of the stream? Like, boom, you can subscribe. And it gives the people who have your partners who have subscriptions available to them, it allows them to incentivize people to subscribe even more. So cool to see Mixer growing, adding new things to their platform. I'm not a huge fan of ads, but I work in advertising, and I understand that they're necessary for platforms like this to exist and continue to deliver free content, and it helps everybody that's involved in big or small ways. It keeps it free for you. It puts a little change in the creator's pocket, and it continues to put money back into the platform so that they can continue to improve it. So Mixer adding ads, by no means a terrible thing. It's just, I would like to see them figure out sooner rather than later how to get that actual ad revenue back into the hands of the creator before a bigger stink is made out of it. Or at least come out and say, hey, we recognize this is a problem. This hypothetical ad revenue, the simulated ad revenue, is something that stands in the gap.